Like if you think back to caveman times, if Grok like finds Grok is hanging out in some cave, and some other caveman comes in and he's like, "Yo, Thok is dead." He's like, "What? How?" Like we have like this natural instinct. Like if someone's dead, we got to find out why. Because of like the evolution of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like I guess that's a theory I have. Because even like bad stories, if they do like a murder mystery, like it kind of works usually. Like it's hard to find like a bad murder mystery, at least in my experience.
Hello everyone, it's Daxki and welcome to another episode of Project Vibes. And today we got a new guest. It's Wilson the Green. Say,
Hey, that's me.
yeah. So,
Good to be on the show, buddy.
yeah. How are you?
I'm doing good. Launch is going better than I expected, or I don't know. I don't know what I expected, but it's going well. So I guess I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah. So,
Um,
yeah, for the audience information, Wilson the Green just recently released a new game, visual novel game. He released it on Steam, so that's why he's here today. He's going to promote it.
yeah, I mean, I was down to do it earlier, but then it's like, I should probably come on whenever I have something to like mention, because
Yeah.
otherwise I'd just be talking about it how I'm trying to get it out instead of it being out. I don't know. It just made more sense to wait. I feel like. Hope that wasn't a bother.
No, not at all. Because I had quite a few lined up at the time also, and I don't think I can keep up with the editing.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been having a lot of really varied guests on here.
Yeah, I was interviewing both safe for work and non-safe for work
I
creators. Yeah. It was
mean, yeah, no reason not to.
yeah. I mean, why am I gonna be picky? I'm still a new podcast anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've all been great so far. So
So how is the release going?
it's going pretty well. As of, should I say when we're recording this, or should I?
Yeah.
Should I? Yeah, I guess so. It's like it. Well, for me, it's like Saturday evening. I launched Friday, and we're up to like 200 units sold so far, which is pretty good.
Wow.
Uh, wish lists also doubled on launch day, which I don't know why it did that,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll take it.
So
So yeah,
I guess the algorithm help you a little bit.
I guess so. Yeah, Steam's kind of weird. I still don't fully understand it because I know they have like arbitrary kind of benchmarks they want you to hit. Like you want to have like around 1,000 wish lists before you launch,
Mm-hmm.
because then they put you into search and all that. And you want like 10 reviews as soon as it's like out, or as soon as possible, I guess. I don't know
Mm.
why they chose those numbers, but like those are like the basic benchmarks you want to hit. And now I hit the wish lists, so I'm just waiting on the reviews. But
So
yeah, Steam's really weird. Although they're more transparent than like YouTube. YouTube's kind of just random. I don't know what takes off or why. That makes it a lot more frustrating.
mm. So your game is Erotic Justice.
Yes, I probably should have mentioned that before. It's Erotic Justice. It's a murder mystery slash hentai kind of game. You play as a detective he can sense the lies of other people whenever he's like questioning them, but he has to recharge it by getting laid. Hence why it's an H game.
Yep. It's pretty crazy when I played it because there's some instance where I would just keep recharging max
Yeah,
all the time. Like he
yeah,
he could climax like 10 times in a row.
yeah, yeah,
It's funny how he can sustain that.
yeah,
I mean, the whole thing happens in one day, I believe.
yeah, yeah. The whole game's over the course of like maybe like I don't know, like 12 hours or something like that. It's all within a day. So
But it's really funny that way because it's comedic, and
yeah,
yeah, I think it's pretty fun to think about it actually.
yeah. I guess it wouldn't be that useful if it was like real life, because then he'd get like two or three, and then he's just done for like 4 days. He's just like I'm out. It's like I can't do it anymore, man.
You probably go to sleep then.
Yeah, he's just passed out, and that's it.
Yeah.
I guess I could
Wow.
work as a hard mode, like realistic mode.
Yeah,
You get like three.
even if he takes a Viagra, I guess I don't know if he can last that long.
I don't know if it helps with well, because that gets you hard, but it doesn't like. I don't know if that like because you're gonna run out, you know. Like you're gonna run out. Your balls only have so much in there, right? Like eventually you're just gonna run dry,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be shooting dust.
Yeah. Probably blood.
Oh yeah, that too. Ugh.
Because you're bleeding internally already.
Oh, just we're already way off the rails. Like, other guests are usually like really normal. We're already
because
about
because
this.
you're not a normal uh guest, man. You're
Oh, true.
you're
I'm a very strange guest.
uh, man. So what are
Uh,
you up to now?
Um, right at this moment, I'm kind of waiting because I've had a couple of moments where somebody's like, "Hey, I found like this bug or something," and then I can usually I can kind of just at least so far I've been able to go in and just fix it and put up like a hot fix version to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm I'm kind of waiting on that for a little bit, so I'm kind of on standby. I don't want to get too deep into something else and then find out like, oh, by the way, I found this like really obvious crash bug that you just didn't notice, and it's like really bad. So I've been kind of waiting on that. After that, I'm probably gonna start getting more into Game Maker for the next project because Erotic Justice I made in Tyranno Builder, but it's not a great engine.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay if you need something for a VN that's like really simple, but if you want to do anything complicated, it's very limiting and has a lot of problems.
Ah, so you have plans now for a new project.
Yeah, yeah, I'm already looking at other stuff. I guess technically I have like two, though I feel like the first one should be a lot shorter. Or yeah, people always say that in game dev, like, oh, this one will be short, and it's like 3 years to finish it or something. It's like, yeah,
So you're
but
moving away from visual novel?
a little bit. The because one game I'm thinking of is it's very different. I made a prototype in Unity, but then Unity kind of got really shitty. So
Yeah.
I wanted to move over to Game Maker instead. It's about like owning a, it's it's like you own like a pizzeria kind of deal, but it's like a sex pizzeria. So it's like a hot girl delivers a pizza and then she like fucks the guy kind of deal. But it's like
Oh.
a but it's like a shmup kind of deal where like they have to because they have to get the pizza over there and they have all these weird things getting in the way.
Uh-huh.
So that was that's the short idea because that one should be simple. I hope.
I see.
Like Rogue Courier's a shmup too, but it's also a lot of other things.
Mm.
But the way I've heard it in general is shmups are easier than like other stuff.
Yeah,
I,
when PCG was showing off to me when we first
Hmm.
met, he actually did the SMAP in a few hours.
Really? He just cranked it out that fast?
Yeah, that fast.
Wow. Like, I mean, I knew he was a pro, but like, that is pretty damn quick.
Yeah, it's like it took him like about an hour, and then he sent me a test build, and it was a SMAP.
Yeah.
I just
I
gave
mean,
him some sprites and the stage, and he made it work in an hour. It's pretty
yeah.
quick.
Do you know what engine he uses?
Yeah, it's the same engine that he uses today, the Click Team Fusion.
Hmm. I'm not familiar with that one. I guess I'm still new to the coding scene. I ain't much of a coder, even though I released a game, but Tyranno, you don't need to know that much code to get it to work,
Mm.
thankfully.
So you self-taught yourself.
Sorry, could you say that again?
You self-taught yourself how to use the
Yeah,
program.
yeah. Well, there's a few like guides and stuff for Tyranno about like, how to do the basic stuff, but there's like a couple of things in there. Like I have like, uh, should I spoil it or not? There's combat in Erotic Justice very sporadically, and that I kind of had to brute force myself. And I'm still not fully sure how I got it to work as well as it did, but the engine was not made for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it does work. It is functional.
So
But
you
yeah, oh, sorry, you go.
uh so you are moving to a new project now? Like how
Yeah.
soon? How soon?
Um, I was hoping, so my original like prototype build that I made in Unity, I was hoping to remake that maybe this month or next month. It depends on how long the rest of the launch takes, among other stuff. 'Cause I live in the US and like it's November's. We have like some holiday stuff later in the month, and I don't know how long that's gonna take. So I may end up getting it pushed to December anyway. But I would at least like to have something to show like the patrons and stuff this month,
Mm-hmm.
because lately it's in the rush to like get Erotic Justice finished. I haven't really made that much. It's mostly just been me fixing things and like promoting things. So I'd hopefully like something to show them, or something they can at least fool around with, even if it's not like finished, or even like a finished prototype.
Mm-hmm. How long did it took you to complete the game?
Erotic Justice?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I want to say like at least 3 years, maybe 2.5. Although I don't do this full time right now. I do have a day job, so it's not like I've been working like 40 hours a week for 3 years to get this done. It's more like between other things, like every month. Although I did have to make like updates every month, which it can be a little draining, especially when you're working on like the same thing for that long, and it's like a VN. That could be kind of rough. But yeah, to answer your question, I'd say at least 3 years. I may need to check the dates again to be sure specifically how long, because it's been so long I don't remember. You know?
Yeah, I can only imagine the stress with that, considering you have a day job. Like, how often do you work on the game?
Mm, well, I mean, over 3 years, it would be like because I had the Patreon open, which helped like pay for the commissioned art and all that stuff. Because I don't know how to draw. Telio does all the art stuff. But because I would have kind of like a routine every month. Like at the beginning of the month, it's like, okay, I need to figure out what am I gonna have Telio work on this month. Like what scenes am I gonna have? What kind of so it's like some writing stuff, like getting art references, doing that kind of stuff, like preparation. And
Mm.
then I send that to him, and then like through the month he's kind of like working on it. And then in the middle of the month, I'm kind of like doing the programming and like adding in like because sometimes like I'll go to work and I'll sometimes have downtime and I'll like write down on paper like script stuff. Like I'll write down like if you question this guy, he says this or what have you. And then I do that throughout the month, and then like towards the end of the month, I get the art from him, and I have the script written out on paper, and then I like code that in and transpose the script into the game, and then add his art. So it's hard to say how much, because it's kind of like I'm doing it kind of like a little bit all the time. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't know I don't know how much work it is to get references for like art. Like I'm just like looking at like is perusing like H sites like is that art? Is that work? If I'm like scrolling, I'm like this pose looks kind of hot. Is that?
Yeah, I guess it's part of work. Yeah, I mean,
I guess.
I'm also doing that most of the time when I have a post in mind and I'm too lazy to sketch it out or make a rough drawing. I just Google it. It's much easier because yeah, it's too convenient, man. I couldn't resist. Yeah, I guess it's work, man.
Well, but you're like an artist though. I don't even draw it. I'm just like window shopping, and I'm like that's good. I just send it to someone else.
Think about it as research.
Yeah, I guess it is research because there is some thought that has to go into it, I guess, and occasionally I'll have to like edit an image or crop it or something.
Yeah,
It's,
and
it's like work.
yeah, I mean, if you were browsing to thousands of images, that's like curating. That's work, man.
Oh, true. Because some poses suck to find if you're looking for something specific.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
it's like not. It's like you're n- you're not randomly picking a scene or a pose. Yeah,
yeah.
it's not that simple. You're looking for something specific. Yeah, it's work.
Okay, okay. You've convinced me. I guess it is work.
So yeah, I guess you were actually working all the time on it. Like you're like you said, you have your downtime at work. What what do you do anyway?
Uh, my
Your day job.
my my old job. So when I started Erotic Justice, I was working at I was a marketer for a company that we would install like, how would I put it? We'd install like communications equipment for like other businesses. If that makes sense. Like sometimes we like run like cable and like internet services. It's not like Comcast. It's like it's a lot smaller and more specialized, but
Mm-hmm.
that was my old job. So, and my degree is in marketing, so that's kind of why I do a lot of weird marketing stuff now because I kind of know how.
Yeah,
And I'm just kind of like,
I really like the video that you released, man. That was
oh,
freaking awesome.
thank you. Those were a lot of fun to make. And it's a lot more fun to market for yourself than it is for somebody else because they always have some kind of problem with whatever you make. But if it's like my stuff, it's like whatever. I'm just gonna go nuts. I'm gonna.
Yeah, no holds, but no bars hold. Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go nuts. I'm gonna put monster truck ads. Like I don't care. I'll just do whatever I feel like is funny, whatever gets people to look at it.
Yeah.
Uh,
The Baphomet part really cracks me up, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in
No,
this, so you're making a new game, right? What about
yeah.
your artist? Are you still gonna uh get him involved?
Uh, yes. Well, okay. So what I'm doing, and this is kind of a dumb idea, and I don't recommend other devs do this, but uh, I have like two projects in mind. One is like the pizza one I mentioned, and the other one's like a sequel to Erotic Justice. Is kind of the idea. But the thing was, I've been working on Erotic Justice so long that it's like I want to break. I want to make something else. So that's where the pizza thing came from. Uh, the pizza game has a different artist, but Erotic Justice 2 has the same artist. So uh, right now I'm getting like art assets and stuff from Telio for Erotic Justice 2, and I am what I'm planning to do, and this is dumb because I don't think it'll happen, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Is I'm gonna try to finish like the lewd pizza game like kind of fast. That way I can like go back to Erotic Justice, but like be refreshed and because I don't want, how do I put it? I'm a little worried if I don't give like if I'm not keeping working with Telio, like he may have to like go find other opportunities, you know?
Oh yeah.
Then it's like then we've had like we've had this working relationship for like 2 or 3 years, so like I feel like I can keep giving him some stuff over time because I know some of the assets I will need for Erotic Justice 2 anyway. So even it may be a few slow months while I work on the pizza game, but I'm hoping to finish that fast enough that I can go back into a more regular, I guess what I was doing before, but with Erotic Justice 2.
Right.
Uh, I hope that answered your question. I feel like I ramble a lot sometimes. Yeah. So if I get off base, you can just tell me, like, come back here, Wilson. You're getting lost in the weeds again.
It's okay. Uh, where do you plan to go ahead with this? So, erotic justice is your main content, right?
Yes, that's like I guess the main thing that I've been doing. I like it a lot. It's based on stuff I've been writing for a long time. So yeah, I guess that would be like my main franchise I want to work with.
I see. So what made you do some detective theme kind of game? Are you into detective stories and
Yeah,
mysteries?
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
mysteries are really good stories in general, I think. I guess I have a weird theory that like certain kind of stories just kind of stick in people's heads like because of like evolution, you know?
Mm-mm.
Like if you think back to caveman times, if Grok like finds out, Grok is hanging out in some cave and some other caveman comes in and he's like, "Yo, Thok is dead." He's like, "What? How?" Like we have like this natural instinct. Like if someone's dead, we got to find out why. Because of like the evolution of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like I guess that's a theory I have. Because even like bad stories, if they do like a murder mystery, like it kind of works usually. Like it's hard to find like a bad murder mystery, at least in my experience.
Yeah, you always want to find out. You're always curious what
Yeah,
happened.
like it's a good plot hook. It gets people in like pretty quick. It's not like super complicated either, because some stories try to get like too complicated too fast, I find. Whereas like it's with a murder mystery, it's like it, like for my game Erotic Justice, I didn't need to explain shit. All I needed to say is like two sentences, like this woman's dead. We got to find out why. Like okay. Then the player just goes and it's like okay. Then the player starts asking questions like where were they? What's going on? And then leave them to it. Let them figure it out. But yeah, I've been inspired by a lot of murder mystery stuff as well. I don't know if you've ever heard of Umaneko. I don't know if I'd call it obscure, but I wouldn't call it mainstream either.
No, I'm not familiar with that title. Although I read
Hmm.
a book some years ago. It's called Plum Island.
Plum Island?
Plum Island.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
about the island where Jason Kidd, uh, is it Jason Kidd? It was
Jason.
Captain. Captain Kidd's treasure. He was a pirate.
No. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, he was a pirate, and they thought he buried his treasure on Plum Island, and
Mhm.
then there's a U.S. Facility there nowadays, and they were doing experiments.
Huh.
Yeah, and there was it's also about a murder mystery
Oh, that sounds like a
while
good time.
investigating Captain Kidd's treasure at the same time.
Hmm. I mean, I just Googled it, and apparently it is a real place. So, I I guess that does track. Wait, does let me search this up now.
Yeah, I guess there was a lot of stuff going on there because it's very restrictive, and nobody's allowed to go there. So a lot of people made up a lot of stories, and also
Oh wow.
there's the Montauk monster. Oh, is that Montauk? That thing where some deformed kind of animal was washed up in the shore,
Is it
and
Mothman?
yeah, I believe it came from from that island.
Hmm. I mean, I believe it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing weird experiments on islands out there.
Yeah, I don't know, I never heard of the latest news. It's just that I remember that uh, experimental animal. It was like a seal and a rat fused together.
Ugh,
Yeah, it's really weird.
that's that would be a weird. Like wait, like which half? Or is it like are they like seals but like tiny? Or are they like rats but like big?
Yeah, I guess it's as big as a cat, something like that.
Okay, so it'd be like a little bit in the middle, and I guess it's like amphibious with like some gnarly looking teeth.
Yeah, it has big teeth.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, so
Yeah.
murder mysteries, yeah, they are fun to digest. Actually, when I was reading that book,
Mhm.
I even forgot when to eat. Like
You just got that into it.
yeah, I couldn't put the book down.
Just still going and just keep going page by page, and you're just like, oh wait, hey, I forgot that thing I'm supposed to do. Gotta eat every once in a while.
Yep. So, what else did you consume before working on Erotic Justice?
Trying to think. What other stuff? People always point out like Phoenix Wright to me, but it's a little embarrassing because I've only played one of
Mm-mm.
them.
Also,
So,
most of your inspirations are from games, right?
uh, kinda, I guess. Well, people point out the comparison to Phoenix Wright, but I haven't really played that much of it, so I don't think it had much impact on me.
Mm.
Though in general, yeah, I do get a lot of inspiration from like games and other things. There's a magic system in my setting it's like a mix of like you ever see JoJo?
Bazaar Adventure?
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
It's like a mix of Stans and like Nen from Hunter x Hunter. It's kind of like halfway between those two
I see.
because I feel like because JoJo stands are too crazy because they could just do anything, but Nen is like too restrictive and doesn't make a lot of sense. So I tried to like kind of put them together in a way that I thought would work.
Yeah,
That was
that's similar to Fizz, the secondary
similar.
character.
Similar to what?
I mean, Fizz.
Sorry, you're cutting out a little there. Freeze?
Fizz, your secondary character.
Oh, Fizz. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It was cutting off the F there, so it was just like you were saying is.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So,
That's why I was getting confused. Like is what is?
yeah, it's probably the headset. Uh,
It's okay. It's okay. It happens. But yeah, yeah. That is where the hands came from. Well, actually, she's a weird one because hers came from like You ever see Elfen Lied? That's
Y-
another old anime.
yeah, I think I saw the trailer of Elpen Lied. I haven't
Yeah,
watched
I
the show yet.
that's fair. I hate that show like a lot.
Is it bad?
Um, the manga's a lot better from what I've been told. The anime does a lot of stuff like then again, I haven't seen it since like in like 10 years, maybe longer. So it might be better than I'm remembering it, but whenever I first saw it, like I hated that show. And like I guess I had this thing in my mind of like cuz all the characters there have like the basically the same power as Fizz. It's a little different cuz she has like the hands and
Mm-mm.
they kind of have those too. But I wanted to make like a version that was better or a version I liked more. So subconsciously, I was just carrying that with me, and that's kind of why her ability is the way it is.
Yeah, that's it's interesting.
I guess. Like, I guess if you put a gun to my head, it'd be like, I guess anime did the most for this.
Mm-mm.
Games inspire some, books also, but like, I don't know. If you get down to it, I guess it's a lot of. I watched too much anime back in the day.
I don't know. I think I'm kind of curious of your childhood. Like I was thinking, maybe this guy, when he was younger, he was not allowed to go outside. Are you kind of like that?
Um, I mean, I suppose. It's just that the neighborhoods that I kind of live in, it's like you don't really. Uh, it's not that it's like unsafe inherently. It's sort of like the roads here aren't great, and it's like you don't want to get hit by a car kind of deal. Like so, like the neighborhood I'm in right now doesn't have sidewalks. Like we just don't have that. So like going out, like you can't even walk through the neighborhood really, because you only have other people's lawns.
Oh, so
So it's
you uh you you walk on people's lawn?
I'd rather not, but I mean like it's just sort of the thing of like the city I live in. It's not really built for people to go outside easily. If that makes sense.
Mm.
Like you need a car to get anywhere. You can't walk anywhere. You can't really.
So that
But
I guess that was a catalyst why you have an inclination to mysteries because you didn't
uh,
go outside that much when you were younger.
I mean, maybe I could just be fucking weird. I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious with that. I mean, I was very uh, outgoing when I was younger, so I'm not very curious because I think I saw it all. I've seen it all, something like that, the outside world. So I don't really like mysteries that much. Although once I got hooked on something, on one mystery, I will pursue it. But for the
Mm.
most part, I do not seek it.
Mm. I mean, well, I always got the impression from you that you're like a really, I don't know, a really chill dude. I guess if that makes sense. I feel like you're down, at least the impression I got is like you're kind of down for almost anything if it sounds interesting.
Yep. I'm yeah, they call me the guy who's game to anything.
I guess kind of like I don't know. You ever see like Joe
Like
Rogan?
yeah, if
He's kind of like
if you like you wanna do drugs, okay, let's do drugs. You wanna get wasted, you gonna wanna get booze, yeah, let's do it. I was kind of like that, and then everything changed when the kid came, and I gotta limit myself.
that would put a lot of barriers on you.
Yeah, I was wild back then. Like we one time there was this birthday party after work. My
Right.
coworker had a birthday party in some bar somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we were drunk, right? And we
Yeah.
started. And then on the way back to the terminal, the bus station,
Mm-hmm.
uh, we were walking, right? And there was this bush, like,
Right.
and we started jumping around it, over it. We started jumping over it, like a contest.
See who could get further over it.
Yeah, who can jump over that very tall bush? Just
Did you
randomly,
make it?
it happened. Yeah, we did it. Like six six of us did that, and we
Oh my
jumped
god.
over that bush for no reason,
But
because
but
simply we were
did you
just
win?
drunk. Yeah, I
But did
win.
you win?
Yeah, I won that part because
Okay.
I remembered it, and I was the tallest among us.
Mm,
I'm at
that's the secret.
Yeah, I was. I'm actually 5'11", and most of my coworkers were around 5'6", 5'8", something around
Oh
that.
wow.
So yeah, that's what's the name originally, Daxki, because Dax means dako in Visayan language, which
Hmm.
in English means big. So I'm like a
Oh,
big guy.
okay.
Yeah, so some people call me Daxki, something like that. So I used it.
Okay. Well, I mean, it makes sense, and it's a memorable name. It's
Yeah.
not like I'm gonna good SEO also. If you want to talk marketing about names,
Oh, I'm actually interested with SEO. How does that work?
it kind of depends. Because one thing was like whenever I actually went to school for marketing. And like a big thing you learn kind of early on is like they teach you what works at the moment, but like Google and all these other sites are like constantly changing. So the rules are always like a little different. But in general, you want a name that's like easy to search, that's unique enough that other people aren't gonna like mix you up for something else, and you want it to be like long enough but not too long, which like a good example, well, a really good modern example, like Twitter, like as a website, had like really good like SEO all around, and Elon changed it to X, which is like a single letter, which is terrible. Because if you just type in X, you get all kinds of stuff. Like you need a little more information for the algorithm to know what your thing is. Like so you need like unique like word combinations and stuff like that. Like like your game, Rogue Courier, it's like it does have good SEO for the name because it's like you're not gonna there's not a lot of other things with that name that would get it confused. Like it's not complicated to remember either. It's like, it's two words and they're not that long. It's like so like you have a good SEO name for your game. Daxky's also a good name as like a content creator just because it's like it's short, it's simple, and other people aren't taking it. There's not a lot of other names like that.
I see.
Uh, so like that's a good thing to check for if you're gonna name something, like Google to see if there's something else that has a name kind of like that.
Mm-mm.
Like that's what I was doing when I was naming my game, Erotic Justice. It took me a while to like come up with a good name, and I just like settled on Erotic Justice because I'm like, if you search Erotic Justice before my game came out, you didn't get anything. You got like a bunch of other weird, not related stuff that didn't have anything to do with anything. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is a good option. But I went through like a whole list of like other names before that, where I like settled on that. But yeah, Short answer, it's a little complicated, but I guess short, unique name that's easy to stick in people's heads, but not so short that Google can't search for it, if that makes sense.
Wow, we learned something about SEO today.
Yeah.
Thank you for educating us.
You're welcome. Yeah, I know a bit about marketing. I don't know how to draw, and I don't know how to code too well, but I'm pretty good at that. I'm pretty good at marketing stuff.
So, yeah, about X as Twitter. I don't know. I wonder why he didn't pick another name. Like he has SpaceX, right? So how about
Yeah.
Twitter X? I mean, if he
Well,
really want to change the site, right? Could have picked
yeah,
something like that.
you, it, the whole Elon thing with Twitter is kind of, it's really baffling if you know anything about like the marketing stuff I know, because Twitter as a website had a lot of it was kind of remarkable in terms of how well it was marketed. Like it kind of changed how people like speak about stuff. Like it was popular enough that, you know, I could say like somebody tweeted something and you know what I'm talking about. That's a verb that's exclusive to Twitter. Like if you're on Instagram or whatever, if you say somebody tweeted something, you still know what I'm talking about. But like cuz he's removed all that naming convention from it for X, it's it's like the worst thing you could do. It's almost like you're throwing away like over a decade of like marketing, like hard work and like achievement for something that's objectively worse. It's really baffling.
Ah,
Like it's
you
such a
mean
bad decision.
you mean the Gen Z language, something like that?
Kinda, yeah. It's well, not just Gen Z. Well, I guess mostly Gen Z, but like even just in common speech, if you were to tell somebody,
Like
even if
yeah, for example, sus, SUS,
yeah,
something like that.
that's a very Gen Z language. Yes,
Uh, how about body? B
is buddy
A
a term?
B A D I E body.
Oh, baddie. Yeah, I don't know if that's exclusive to Gen Z though. I feel like I've seen some oldies say that too.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe
So
I don't know.
so
I feel
essentially,
like I'm too old too.
Elon Musk removed those words.
Pretty much. Well, he's trying to. I don't know if you get email notifications from Twitter, but it's actually really funny because you'll get the email notification says that it's from X, and then it says in parentheses, formerly Twitter, like in the subject line. Because if you see you got an email from and it's just the letter X, you're gonna say, "What the hell is this?" And you're not gonna open it.
It's
At least
kind
I
of
wouldn't.
scary.
Yeah, it's like from X. Like, who is this?
Could
Are
be a
you some
virus.
hacker? Yeah, like a virus or something. I'm not opening that. So
Yeah.
they have to tell you in the subject line, like, whoa, 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 we're formally Twitter. It's like, oh, that's who it's from.
I don't know.
But yeah,
They said Elon Musk really wanted that to own that letter for some reason. Even when he wanted to start PayPal, his pitch was to name it X.com.
yeah, I do remember that. And isn't that why he got like kicked out? Because the other people were like, that's a bad idea.
Yeah,
So they just kicked him
they
out.
thought he was crazy,
Yeah.
and now he got the means to do it, and he made it come true.
Yeah. And I think the PayPal guys were right. I don't think it was a good idea.
Although I really envy that part of him because when he wants something, he worked really hard to get it.
Well, that is true. Whenever he wants something, he doesn't let anybody talk him out of it. which is that's a level of what would you call that? Like tenacity, I guess. Like, because he could just go back and just call it Twitter again, and it would like everybody was pretty much telling him to do that, like for days, for months. Like, we should go back to Twitter, and he's just like, no, I'm holding the X train. We're gonna keep doing it. It's like, you know, that does take a certain level of willpower to like get told by like millions of people you should stop doing something and just keep doing it anyway, you know? I don't know if I could do that.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, he spent $44 billion on that website, right? So if you're,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to him. I paid for this, and this is what I want. Why should I listen to you? I mean, if I was in his position, I'd be thinking like that.
I mean, I guess so, because yeah, it wasn't like a normal kind of transfer of what do I call it? Because it's he's not the CEO, he just owns it, which is a little different. I know some people get confused about that, but most CEOs don't own the company. Like he just owns it, so he can just literally do whatever he wants with it. So like, yeah, I mean, yeah, if I dropped that much money on something, I guess you're right. I wouldn't. And somebody's like, you shouldn't do that with it. It's like, man, I dropped how many zeros on this thing? I'm gonna do whatever I want with it. I don't care. I'll call it whatever letter I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I doesn't make sense to spend all that money if people are just gonna tell you what to do.
I mean, well, true, yeah. If you
That's
you're gonna throw
hurtful.
down that much money, yeah,
Yeah, that's painful for him to do. I can only
yeah,
imagine. Yeah, even for me, if I was in his position and I spent all that money and then people tell me what to do, I'll be hurt by that.
yeah. And it's still going, and it's been going. So
It's like Twitter is the old girlfriend. It's like an ex-girlfriend that or ex-wife who who you divorced, and he's still taking your money. She's still taking your money, and then she's telling
yeah.
you what to do.
Oh,
Oh my god! Oh my god, that's crazy.
oh, oh. He is still losing money on that, isn't he? How much is it worth now? It's been a
Uh,
while since I checked.
yeah, he said it's making ends meet, something around those lines. But honestly, I don't know how long X will be around. I'm just there for the ride for now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I know they started nuking NSFW accounts, or not nuking them. What's the word? Like shadow banning them. Like they're kind of making it harder to get found in search, which is really annoying.
Yeah, I noticed that too because some of the artists that I follow doesn't show up on my feed anymore.
Yeah, you have to like go looking for them now, which
Yeah,
is
you have
really rough.
to type their names and see their threads by yourself. Twitter doesn't show them to you anymore.
Yeah, which is really a pain. I think I got hit with that like halfway through. Like when I was like promoting the game, I'm like I noticed like suddenly my stuff stopped getting as many views, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? And it's like, oh, he's throttling NSFW. I'm like, oh, that's what happened. Oh well.
Yeah, so you noticed it too, huh?
Yeah. I don't think I got hit with it as bad as other people, but I did notice a significant drop off from what I was getting before to what I started getting. So yeah, actually, have you seen anything like that?
Well, I don't really pay attention to Twitter that much. I mean,
Hmm.
I just go there to browse stuff that I like the artists that I'm following, and yeah, posting stuff. But for the social part of it, not that much. Maybe I posted
Hmm.
once. Like recently, I posted the air fried pork belly. Uh,
I think I
yeah,
did see that actually.
yeah. Did you saw it?
I think I did, yeah. Where I
Yeah,
was like, oh wow, if Daxky posts something, is it like a art? It's like no.
yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
I was craving at the time, so yeah, I cooked that one. It really
I mean, what
it was really crunchy, man. Even if it's cold.
was it good?
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
marinated it
nice.
in Cajun spices and then some
Ooh.
salt. Then I
Okay, yeah, that
first I actually boiled it on salt and bay leaves, and then
nice.
once it was tender, I skewered it and marinated it in Cajun spice, and then I put it on the air fryer.
Ooh. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe 30 minutes, and then once it's crispy, man, it's heaven.
Ooh, I mean, it
Yeah.
certainly sounds that way.
Well, I couldn't eat it all, so the next morning I put tofu on it and
Mm-hmm.
soy sauce, and I sauteed it in tofu.
Mm.
Yeah, it was
That sounds
really
like a good
crunchy, man. Like, did you know the Mexican chicharron? It's something like that.
chicharron.
Yeah, yeah, the pork
Uh,
skin that they deep fry, and it's really crunchy, something like that. And the thing about air fryer is it really dehydrates the meat, and so when you remove it, it's like a chicharron. It's like a Mexican chicharron, because if you cook it on
hmm.
the pan,
Right.
the oil remains on the meat. So when
Hmm.
it cools down, the meat and the skin gets chewy. It's no longer
Mm.
crunchy, and that's the good thing about air fryer. I like cooking it better in the air fryer,
Yeah, yeah, it
because
gives you that texture you want.
yeah, because it removes all the oil, the residue,
Mm.
and it gives you a real very very crunchy uh, food.
I know a guy that has an air fryer. Maybe I should go over and see how it works. I haven't used one before, I don't think.
Yeah, I believe air fryer would be nice for oily stuff. But if you're trying to cook some, like French fries, for example,
Hmm.
no, not
Not good for that.
not good for that. Mostly for oily foods like chicken and
Mhm.
pork, maybe even beef. Yeah,
Mm, okay. Okay. So like I guess mostly like meats. I guess like duck would work with that too.
yeah.
That's
Even
pretty
fish.
oily.
Even fish, the oil, there's the oh, actually I wanna try this creamy dory. I don't know if you know that one.
Creamy dory.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with it.
it's very oily kind of fish. I wanna try that in the
Oh,
air fryer.
oh, it's like a like catfish.
Yeah, something similar, but I believe it's from the sea actually. Cause catfish are in inland.
Oh, they're freshwater.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
freshwater fish.
Okay. Okay. Google might be lying to me, saying that it's a catfish. Although
Yeah,
the pictures of it don't have the whiskers, so how is it a catfish?
yeah, it could be that one.
Hmm. Hang on.
So do you like food?
I do like I do like food on occasion.
Do you
So
cook?
I'm not I cook a little bit. I used to cook more when I was in like high school, and then whenever I got into college, like you don't have I live in the dorm and you don't have access to a kitchen in college. So I kind of just like I tried to make do, eat like cereal and like stuff you can cook in a microwave and like that's it. But like I actually don't mind cooking. I don't know. It's relaxing, I guess. Just chop some veggies, throw them in, like wait for the meat to kind of brown up. Like it's a good time. Although I just haven't had that much opportunity to do it, I suppose.
Yeah, it's one of my hobby actually, especially when there's a gathering. I like to show off for some
Oh yeah,
reason.
get your recipe book out.
Yeah, I wanna show them my skills, something like that.
Yeah.
Although some people they don't like my cooking. but
What's
but
the problem with it?
yeah, but I don't care. I just want to cook, you know?
Just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, that's the last hobby that I retained nowadays because like I couldn't do drugs anymore. I don't want to do alcohol anymore.
I imagine that would be a little complicated with
Yeah.
the current stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, I just cook and
I mean,
I don't
cooking sounds
even
healthy.
go out anymore. I mostly stay at home. So
Hmm.
many things have changed ever since the kid came in.
I
Maybe
imagine.
if he grows up a little bit, I'll teach him how to drink. I'll teach him how to do drugs. I mean, who else should teach him, right?
Like what? Like
Am I
what?
gonna,
Do you want him to learn wrong on the street?
yeah, am I gonna trust some random kid or some random guy to teach my kid those stuff? No, I will
Yeah, like
teach him.
you gotta teach him, because otherwise he's gonna be flicking his lighter like a jackass. Like no, you gotta teach him right. Like this is how you do it.
Yeah. And even whores, hookers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about that kid. He's pretty charismatic, and I think he's a ladies' man. A man. What? He's a ladies'
Uh,
man. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Even
that's the word.
even right now, in school, most of his friends are girls because they come to
Hmm.
him.
Oh wow.
So I'm actually afraid that he might get someone pregnant.
Oh,
Yeah, and ruin
that
his
that would
life
that
that
would
way.
complicate things.
Yeah.
Ooh. How old is he now?
He's 9 years old, and
Oh wow.
a few years from now, I'll be watching him closely.
Yeah,
it's
just to
a
make sure.
it's a ticking time bomb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you would know. He's your son.
Yeah. I mean, how about you? Do you have any plans to have kids?
Uh, I don't know if I could do kids. That sounds rough. I'm not even a big fan of like pets because I feel like I don't know. I'm always terrified I'm gonna like forget to feed them or something, Like 'cause
Yeah.
sometimes I have to take care of like like I have a neighbor's like fish, and it's like because if it's like a dog or something, they'll tell you when they're hungry, but fish can't do that. So it's like, what if I just forget?
Yeah.
And that
Like,
just makes me worried.
what if you got
Oh,
drunk the last night and the next morning your fish is floating in the water?
yeah, exactly. But like, well, I guess with a kid, you wouldn't have that problem. You just have a million other ones. They'll tell you if they're hungry. They
I
won't
guess
tell you the other stuff.
yeah, I guess it's not for everybody. I mean, even I was forced to it. Like it's an
Okay.
he was an accident. I was drunk that night, and
Oh,
I forgot to pull it out.
oh, right.
I screwed up big time there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a mistake that I don't know if I regret it or not because I like it. I like it right now.
I mean, he's still young. You got time to figure it out one way or the other.
Yeah. So what what are your uh plans for the future?
Hmm.
With
That's a good.
considering all the censoring of Twitter, do you plan to uh make a website or something? So because I was
I
thinking
I
like that.
hmm. I don't know actually, because I don't know HTML, and most of the like easy site builders, I don't think they allow not safe for work, so it's a little complicated. Hmm. I'm kind of hoping Blue Sky can maybe take Twitter's place in terms of like not safe for work, content creator that can share stuff. But I don't know if they're gonna do that yet because Blue Sky is not even like fully operational yet.
It's a new
And people ain't.
website.
Yeah, Blue Sky. It was made by like a bunch of the people who, whenever Elon joined Twitter, they like left and made basically Twitter like again, but it's another website that he doesn't own.
Is that
Uh,
is that the owner of Twitter,
I think it was. Yeah, I think it's Jack from
Jack
Twitter made
Dorsey?
Blue Sky. Yeah, Dorsey. I think it was made by him and like some of the other engineers that made Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like it's just Twitter again, I guess. It maybe there's some things about it that are different that I don't know yet, but I do have an account there. I haven't been using it that much because most people I know don't have accounts yet, so they're just kind of waiting, you know. But I'm keeping an eye on that. Maybe that'll work out, and if it doesn't, then I don't know. Uh, Because I don't know if I want to deal with a website, because that's a lot of work, and it's also like you have to pay for like server hosting. Do you have to pay for that for the Road Courier website?
Yeah, I pay for it annually. It's
Oh, okay. So you
although we
lump
use
sum
a
here.
very cheap server, it's unheard of, I believe. NFO servers. I think that's the name. NFO servers. It's mainly for gaming server thing. Like
Hmm.
like for example, you have a guild on an MMO and you wanna make a website. So yeah,
Oh.
that's the
Okay, that
server
makes
for you
sense.
because it's very cheap.
Okay, yeah, it's cheap and it's simple, I guess. Because
Yeah.
you don't have like a ton of stuff. Well, actually, no. Well, actually, you kind of do because you have all the video files and the game and all that on there.
Oh, it would crash actually.
Oh, it would?
Yeah, even now, you, when we are, we don't. It used to be when we we host the SWF file on our website. It
Right.
kept crashing because people
Mm.
play like,
Is there
for
like too
example,
much?
yeah, the bandwidth couldn't handle it. So
Ah,
it has a very low bandwidth, and even now people are complaining like they would message me on Patreon, hey man, I can't access your website. I just tell him, yeah, I try it after 5 minutes or 10 minutes and keep
it's just.
trying. So
Hmm.
yeah, it crashes.
I
uh,
mean, I guess. Well, could you put it on like, I don't know, like Mega Upload or like Mediafire or anything like
no
that?
no
I
no
think you used to do that.
No, I mean the it's the website itself.
Oh, like the site itself
Yeah,
has those issues.
has
Okay.
those issues. I mean the links, yeah, they are in Mediafire and Mega.
Oh yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Because if the bandwidth is that limited, you would have problems downloading those kind of files. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's the hijackers that's causing the website to crash
Oh, you
because
think they're mucking with your bandwidth too?
yeah, I think they're trying to access all the files because remember a few months ago we got attacked.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. Some hackers made our files hostage. So they want us to pay money
Mhm.
to retrieve our data, and we
Yeah,
didn't.
but you didn't, which was
Yeah,
definitely the right move in my opinion.
yeah, we didn't pay them, and we just rebooted the website and created a new one.
Mhm.
So it's all theirs if they want, but we're not paying them. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't have sensitive data. Most of it are links anyway, and just some
Yeah.
pictures. Although the all our years of work was lost when they attacked the website.
Oh, for the yeah, the because the website itself, you lost all that. So like all the setup and everything.
Yeah, we lost all that. So I guess the hackers are trying to access our files again because they did it before, and
Mhm.
PCG made a different setup now, so they couldn't access those files, and
Oh, that's
it
good.
might be the cost why the website goes down a lot because they're trying to hack it.
Mm,
I don't
I
know.
see. I
It could. It's just speculation at this point, but I don't really know exactly what's the reason.
it's it seems really odd though that they'd go after you consistently.
Well,
'Cause-
they do it on all websites. Uh,
oh, true. I
yeah,
guess they're just looking for whatever they can.
they're looking for vulnerabilities,
Mhm.
and it's like they have this bot that try to access your website. Doesn't matter what it is, Facebook.
Mhm.
Yeah, they get attacked a lot, and
Mm,
all the difference is their bandwidth can handle all the traffic, and
mhm.
ours is very low, so it tends to crash.
Yeah, if they try to force it that much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like for example, if 10 hacker bots try to access your website, so all that traffic will be uh, felt by the server. So yeah, it tends to crash. I
Hmm.
guess that's how I interpret it. But I'm not
Hmm.
really sure. I could be speaking nonsense right now.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it makes as much sense to me as anything else. So, because I mean, if it varies that much, I figured it'd be something wrong with the server, or yeah, or like what you said, like somebody's trying to hack it. It seems odd that you could access it like most of the time, but not other times.
Yeah,
Actually, let me
I
try
mean
and.
these hackers, that's their everyday job. Like they look for hostages. It's like they're hunting it. All websites they'll attack it. A website all the time. So if they are successful, they will hostage your data and
Pretty much, yeah.
ask money for it. I
Mm.
I can only imagine how many of them are out there. Yeah, it's pretty
No,
scary
no
stuff.
doubt. Yeah, it's gonna be like thousands, millions. Like I don't even know. Like,
Yeah,
uh,
like for example, you have a group of hackers, let's say 20 people, and
mhm,
all of you have bots, like 100 bots at your disposal, each of you.
mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, Yeah,
You
especially
think
for,
about it.
you know, limited bandwidth for sure.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it looks like your site's up now. I was just checking it.
yeah. It's mostly on the gold tier page that it tends to
Oh, that's where it has the
crash.
issues.
Yeah, that's where the issues come a lot.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and it seems to be fine.
Yeah, in the lobby, the first page it's okay, but when you try to access the exclusive stuff, yeah, it tends to crash most of the
I mean, I'm
time.
in there right now, so
Yeah, I guess they give it a rest, I guess.
I mean, it's working for me. So
Yeah.
I can give it my thumbs up approval. Hey guys, check out roguecourier.com. You can get all kinds of stuff on Daxky's Patreon.
Yeah, so enough about the hackers.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
let's talk about Wilson. Uh, what motivates you to make uh games?
It's a good question, I guess. Well, I mean, I guess primarily I'm like I guess a writer, you could say. That's kind of what I do the most, but like, I don't know. I feel like people aren't really, books don't really connect with people as much anymore, or maybe they're just not as interested, you know? Then, like, there's stuff you could do with games that you can't really do with other mediums. Like, well, I guess you could say that about every medium, but like, games feel kind of special in that, like, because, the player makes choices, you can make them, feel certain things based on that. And
You gave them
I like
control.
doing that. Yeah, because they have control. It's more meaningful, even if the story's more simple, because, by giving somebody control, it makes it more complicated. So you kind of have to make the story a little more simple, but just giving them that feeling of control, like it does a lot that you can't really do. You can't do that with a movie. You can't do that with like a TV show. And you can't do that with like books or, manga or anything like that. But another thing I notice is like a lot of games they could do a lot with it, but they tend not to. Or if they do, they do it in really weird ways that aren't that effective, which is I don't know. Have you ever seen somebody try to do something that's like like they're doing something really badly, but you know how to do it, and you just want to like take it out of their hands and be like, no, let me just do this for you. It's like you don't know what you're doing. You ever have that moment where I'm like, no, stop, let me just
Well,
like, why are you doing this?
yeah, I had those instances, but in animation.
Oh yeah, oh for sure. Yeah, you would definitely have that a lot then. Looking at how some people animate.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's the reason I try not to watch my colleagues do their work because I can spot their mistakes, and yeah, I, I just walk away. I couldn't
yeah,
handle
you're
it.
just just shake your head and just go, whatever. Yeah.
Like I know this is gonna be seen by the director, and he's gonna revision it for sure, like version 2, version 3, up to version 10, because they're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, come on, man.
Although
But yeah,
I didn't quite get your answer though.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, what motivates you?
I mean, I guess that's, yeah, if I had to put it into something, it's I guess I like to be a writer and I like to tell stories and stuff like that, but and I guess games are kind of like the most effective way of telling the kinds of stories I want to tell. Like, you know, like because it's easier to like write books or whatever, but those wouldn't be the kinds of stories I'd necessarily want to tell right now. Although I have thought about like trying out like books and other things, or like getting an artist and like making like a web comic or something like that. But I don't know. Those almost feel like they're not as market viable as they used to be. You know,
Mm-mm.
because books are kind of weird because publishers are usually like downsizing, so they're not really looking for like new people to come in unless they have like a huge fan base already. And I mean, if I have a big enough fan base, why do I need a publisher, right? So it's like, if but yeah, I guess my short answer is you can tell cool stories with games you can't tell in other places. Is how I would put it. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
that's pretty interesting. Uh,
Yeah.
so we like to tell stories, right? And
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, even for me, I don't see myself as an animator as I used to.
Mhm.
I'm more of a storyteller now. So I can
I
actually relate to what you said.
Yeah, definitely now because like Rogue Courier's been because I've heard some of the stuff, you know, on the back end that's not necessarily in the game right now, and I could yeah, I definitely get that impression from you too.
Yeah,
There's
we are trying to finish it, and you know, the financial stuff, it's really taking a toll, and we
that is part of why I suggested getting what you have onto Steam, at least partially, because it you Rogue Courier right now has more content than like 90% of the hentai games on Steam right now.
wow.
Like I'm serious. Like in terms of like because even you know looking at like your quality of like animation and how many scenes you have, like you got a ton. Like the only games I can think of that would have more than what you have is have you heard of like Subverse?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like
I heard of them. Studio
yeah.
Fox, I
Yeah,
believe.
by Foe?
Oh, Studio Foul. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But like their game it is very similar to Recur because like you're in space and you have like a crew of chicks, but like they're I would argue they have a little more content, but like considering like how much you have, like compared to like hang on, let me just look up like something on like Steam just to like give you an example. Because like some of the stuff on here, it'll just be like a jigsaw puzzle, and it'll be like one image of like a hentai girl, and like that's it, you know? Like a lot of people aren't on here ain't trying that hard.
Because they want to see the girls, right? They
Yeah, but it'll be like really basic, not a lot going on. But Rogue Courier has like a ton of. It has more content than what they have. It's got more, you know, like everything than what they have. Like you could blow a lot of these guys out of the water.
Wow. That that
So
really means a lot coming from you, man.
yeah, it's that's why I'm kind of like mentioning it. I'm like, you can totally, even if, you know, like, because I know you want to do more with Rogue Courier, and like I get it, but like, if you were to like, I think I told PCG this, like, if you just like added a to be continued screen at the end of what you have and put it on Steam, it'd be like a banger. People would love it.
Yeah,
Uh,
like a
you might
post credit scene.
maybe a little post credits, like, but like I wouldn't even because I know it takes a while to make like big updates, but I wouldn't even say like you need a big update. I would say like, you know, put like a little scene at the end of like what's gonna happen next, you know, and you know put it on Steam as like, you know, Rogue Courier episode 1 or whatever. You know, you can call it whatever you want, I guess, Act 1 or whatever, and it'll do well. Like you'll have to like market it and stuff and promote it, but like yeah, you can totally do super well on here,
Yeah.
and
I think
that it would
I
give you
I think
another revenue stream too.
yep, that too. We really need it.
Yeah.
Actually, we might need your help with the marketing part because yeah, I'm
I'm
I'm do
I'm
not.
very open. I'm very open to doing that.
I mean, for the trailer and the shilling part, when you try to spread the word, I might need your help for that because
Yeah, that's not a problem at all.
you seem to be the guy for the job.
I guess there ain't that many people in the hentai space that know marketing. Seems a little odd to me. I feel like somebody would know, but it just seems like
Yeah,
it's mostly
that ad you made really cracks me up, man. It really reminds me that that Baphomet part was really something
yeah,
else.
yeah.
It got me hooked. I
That
was
that was
I
that was
was
so
like
fun to make.
I was like, give me more. Come on. Is there a part two of this? Is there another video coming up? I was like something like that. It was really good, man.
I mean, Rogue Courier definitely has the material for it. You could totally make like a ton of good like ads about that like easily.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure I'm gonna ask for help from you when we finished
Yeah.
it. Right now, PCG is putting up the ending of the game. Like
Hmm.
it comes full circle actually,
Okay.
and
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
and then I'm just gonna roll out the credits and maybe give the audience, the players, what to expect for the
Yeah,
next
totally.
game, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that should totally like work out totally fine. Absolutely.
Mm.
Like I say without exaggeration, like you legit have way more seats and like way more content than 90% of what's on Steam.
Yeah,
It's
I guess we put too much gameplay on the game, and
well, I mean, you made what you wanted to make, you know? Like it's not a bad thing that you put in a lot of stuff in there. It just means that like whenever people do play it, they're gonna go like, "Oh, this is really good." You know? Like this has a ton of stuff. Like it's worth the money and all that.
if, for example, if you were me and you want to put Rogue Courier on Steam, how much would you want to charge for it?
How much would I charge for it?
Yeah.
Hmm, that's kind of a tough one because price is rough. And well, another thing on Steam is you you kind of want to charge a little more than what you would charge because like well one part of it is Steam takes like a kind of a big cut. It takes 30%, which
Wow.
it's a lot. I know it's a lot, but you get so much volume that it's worth it. But yeah, like 30%. So in general, you kind of want to go a little higher than you would expect.
I
So
see.
like my instinct, like at a glance, I would say maybe like 20 to 25
Oh.
is what I would say. That's what I would say. Although, because how much is Subverse? I think Subverse is like 30, I want to say.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna say. I don't remember exactly, but I think it's $30 when it's not on sale. So, but I think that like 20 to 25, like that kind of range, it feels really appropriate because it's a little high because most like hentai games don't. Most of them are like VNs, like what I have, and they're around like $10 or something, or less or more depending on other factors. But like you got gameplay, you got like really good animations and a lot of them. So like some people are gonna like, they'll be like 25, that's a lot. But what those people do is they put it on their wish list because it looks good, and then whenever the sale rolls around, they buy it then when it's a little cheaper. And Steam has a lot of sales that generate a lot of like people looking at your game. So that's another reason why you kind of want to go high on Steam, because even if you go a little too high, you can use like sales and stuff to still get a lot of people buying it because they see that it's on. It's like, oh, it's like 20% off. And they'll go and run in and buy it.
I see.
So that's my instinct, just at a glance. I don't know if that works for your budget and all that, or if you'd want to like do it a little differently. But that's what I would think. I will say, Vortex, who was a previous guest on there here, he knows a bit more about Steam than I do, so he may know some stuff I don't know. But in general, like that's the ballpark I'd aim for. He might give you a different number, but I feel like even he would kind of, if anything, he might even say go higher than what I said. Like he might be like, "Oh no, aim for like $28 or something." Like I don't know,
Mm-mm.
but that's what I would say. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah,
I feel like I rambled a lot there.
I definitely take note of that. Yeah, thank you for the insight.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I am new to Steam, so I'm still learning stuff. But if you have any like questions about any of that, I'm happy to share. It's a weird kind of platform to get onto. It's got like a lot of little bells and whistles and rules that you may not expect, but I think it's definitely worth getting into.
Well, Rogue Courier is 99% or 98% complete right now. I
Oh,
mean,
nice.
the first installment, we we're gonna call it Rogue Courier Phantom of the Past.
Okay. It's a good name for it.
Yeah, because
Catchy.
yeah, that's the story overall. It's like a phantom.
Well, yeah, it's all about him facing. Well, he's literally haunted by his past because of the whole Sakura thing.
Yeah,
Is that how you pronounce it, by the way? I feel like a
Sakara.
Sakara. Okay.
Yeah,
Whenever I read words that are like, they're what's the word? Like it's not a word that I've seen before. I almost always get it wrong.
yeah.
I
We
just noticed
we
that, so I feel like I just assume I'm wrong.
we all do. So, aside from writing and making games, what else are your activity? What do you do?
What, like my job
Yeah, your
or like
interest.
hobbies in general?
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't surprise me. I do like to play video games. This is, ironically, making games is like the most interesting kind of hobby I have, really. Because IRL, like, people are like, "Oh, you're making a game?" It's like, "Yeah, I am." And it's got pornography in it, and they're like, "Whoa!" But otherwise, it's like
Yeah, you can see their eyes get bigger.
they're like, "What? You can do that?" And it's like, "Yes, yes, you can." You have to
Yes.
go to specific platforms, but you can do that.
So you have
It
people
is,
like that actually.
yeah. I do know people like, I have a group of guys I hang out with, and that like that's the thing that like sticks out, I guess, for me, because like they don't make porn games, so they're like, so they always make like weird jokes about like, oh, this is like, like they'll find something like kind of sus, or they find some like weird memes of like porn, and they're like, "Oh, is this like Wilson? Did you hear about this?" And it's like, "Yes, I heard about this days ago, but thank you." So it's like, yeah, I mean, like, I guess I don't know. I guess it helps to have people IRL to like point out that, yeah, the thing I'm doing is a little weird. Because
Yeah,
it's online, it's really easy to like get wrapped up in something and forget like, oh yeah, this is not normal.
Yeah, it's like they they are your filter.
Yeah, yeah, they help keep me grounded, I guess. So I don't get too crazy. They let me know that like you're getting a little too out there, so I know to calm down.
Just like Elon Musk.
Yes. Occasionally need something to, just keep you a little grounded, a little don't want to go too crazy. Shit.
So you're playing games and
Yeah, like I play games and
what
I watch
games?
anime. I hang out with the boys, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's what you do always. Playing games
It's
and
what I
watching
like to do.
anime. What
Yeah, hanging out with the boys, that kind of
anime?
stuff. It's
What anime do you watch?
usually I gravitate towards, I guess you'd say, the more vintage kind of stuff. Lately I've been watching El Hazard, which I don't think is good, but it's like, have you ever seen Tenchi Muyo?
Yeah, yeah, I saw it. That's very
Yeah, like the
old.
same. Yeah, it is, but like this is like the studio that made Tenchi Muyo made like a fantasy series that's very similar, and that's what El Hazard is. So that's what I've been watching lately.
So it's like a harem kind
Kinda,
of.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a weird isekai thing.
It's like the main protagonist is surrounded by girls.
Yeah, pretty much that kind of deal.
Yeah, and pretty weird girls as well. They have their
Yes.
own characteristics. Some of them
Yeah,
are
they all have weird
cat
dicks and
cat
gimmicks.
girls and you know whatnot. Some demons.
Uh, surprisingly, no demons in this one. You'd think so. Tenchi, they kind of did that, but you'd think that. Although maybe that's why El Hazard wasn't as popular because it wasn't as weird. But yeah, I tend to go more older, I guess. I don't know what it is. A lot of the more modern anime doesn't really grab me as much. Like I'm not that. Like what even is popular this season? I don't even know. Do you know what's popular this season?
um, Lately I've been watching uh Spy Family.
Oh, Spy Family's good.
Yeah,
I guess that's the most modern thing I've seen that I like.
and Bastard.
Oh shit, they did make a remake of that, didn't they?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
fuck. Okay, I
it's
should check
freaking
that out.
good, man. This
That okay, I should
hilarious,
check that.
and you know, there's this part where who's the main guy again?
Uh, fuck. Okay, I don't remember his name,
So
but I know who you
yeah,
mean.
it's like it's ridiculous, man. He was fighting this monster, right? And then in
Right.
the middle of it, he was groping his girl. You see what I mean?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Where 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 did you where did you get that kind of idea? Like you're in the middle of a fight and you're trying to have sex with your girl.
I mean, that dude's kind of fucking wild, if I remember right.
Yeah, it's very wild, man. It's fucking ridiculous. I love that show. And I'm still waiting for season 3.
God, they had 2 seasons. I heard that was announced, and then like I blink, and you're like, "Oh, there's 2 seasons."
Oh, so
What?
so you haven't even watched it yet, right?
I watched part of the original Bastard anime, which came out in like the 2000s.
Yeah,
So
if I was to
the
choose the old
I
one or now, I think now is much better
I think I agree. I haven't even seen it, and I agree with you. Like
because
I just saw the trailer, and I'm like, "Oh, this looks good."
yeah, it's the aesthetics of it is really appealing to me because I'm an animator and the old one was kind of it's their drawings were good but it's the animation was kind of meh.
It's rough.
Yeah,
Also,
very snappy,
the
but now
yeah,
it's really good.
that and like the older one how do I put it? The newer one, it feels closer to what the original art style is.
Mm,
Like the older one seems more, I don't want to say generic, but like it's not as unique, so I guess it is kind of more generic.
yeah,
So it's like that kind of deal. It's just not as good.
yeah.
Also, the voice acting in the original one is not great. Like I don't know what the main guy's name is because I watched this with like other people and we all realized that the voice actor for the main guy is there's this American show called Ned's Declassified that has a janitor in it, and the janitor in it has the same voice actor as the main guy, and his name's Gordy. So we just
Gordy.
called him Gordy because he sounds exactly the same. And we were like, "Oh my god, it's Gordy! Why is it Gordy?"
Yeah. Oh
And it's
yeah,
like,
I
"Oh,
remember now. It's Dark Snyder.
oh yikes. Why does he have such a weird name?
Yeah,
Why
and
is it
the what really cracks me up is the names also, because all the characters have had their names on metal bands.
right?
Yeah, I couldn't
Oh,
remember
oh,
all of them. You know, uh, the place where the show started is called Metallicana.
oh my god! Of course it is.
Yeah,
Is
all
there is there is there a guy named ACDC too?
yeah, I think there's something like that also. I just couldn't remember all of the names because, you know, I have a very bad memory, but I can remember the show. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
The moments. Freaking crazy, man. If I was to talk about Bastard, maybe a whole day is not enough.
It
It's,
seems like there's a lot to go over.
yeah,
Oh,
it's like if you want to review it, I don't know, you might spend a whole year reviewing it. It's just, re- I don't know.
it's just got that much. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, there's so much content there. It's very memorable, and I love every moment of it. Yeah,
Oh shit. That's a
you
pretty
should
damn good
watch it.
review.
You should
I
start watching it.
just after this, just immediately,
Yeah,
just open it up.
you should even make a movie about a video about it, since you're a little bit of a YouTube channel, YouTuber as well.
I do. I need to make more videos for that actually. I keep getting distracted by game stuff, but making videos is also fun. So I should at least do that once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I figured you were just busy trying to finish your game, so you kind of slow down your uploads.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
That's why the three most recent ones are just ads for the game.
yeah. Your videos were actually very entertaining. You're a goofball, man.
I think I actually did make a video about one of your games, didn't I?
Mm, the power fuck girls.
Yeah, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I
But
don't know why I picked that one.
uh yeah, it's not really my game, although it's the guy actually commissioned me to do the animation for that one, but it was not
Oh yeah,
actually my game.
yeah. I got that impression because like, uh, how do I put it? Um, because your art style is like really, how would I put it? It's like realistic kind of anime style. If that makes sense. That's how I would kind of describe it.
Yeah, I
And
got that
you
impression
think
as
it's
well.
fair?
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to imitate the art style from King of Fighters.
That does track. Because KOF's kind of like that too. Because
Yeah.
like Street Fighter has like weird proportions, but your art doesn't really have that, and KOF doesn't have that either. At least not as much.
Yeah, I was going for that kind of style, but I don't want to completely copy them. You know, I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to
You got to make it
have
your own.
my own
But
take.
yeah. But yeah. The reason I mention that is like there's like a few instances where like I'll see like you drew something and it'll be like something like the Powerpuff Girls. It's like really cartoony
Mm-hmm.
because like the Powerpuff Girls is really cartoony and it doesn't really translate well to your style. So it feels like a commission or something.
Yeah,
Which
it's actually a commission.
yeah, which like I don't know. That always feels weird to me when somebody like they commission like a really good artist to draw something not in their style. Like that always feels really odd to me because it's like I don't know. Like I'm gonna hire like the greatest, sushi chef in the world to make like French fries or something. It's like why not have him do the thing he's good at? Why are you asking him to draw something or to cook something that he doesn't know how to cook, you
I
know?
I guess it's like a challenge.
Well, I could see that in a sense for certain like characters, or I don't know, but I don't know. It feels odd in this case.
Yeah,
I could see that for other
I mean,
types of characters.
I can guess why people tend to be weirded by that because they don't have a frame of reference since the original characters were very cartoony, so they couldn't imagine them as a real life person. So
Hmm.
if they couldn't translate it uh well,
Yeah.
yeah, they need to, like, for example, Dexter's mom was very cartoony, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you imagine her in real life, how would she look
Hmm.
like? So you don't have that frame of reference that
Right.
you can expect from the artist. So the artist is like very random with his depiction of that
Hmm.
character. So sometimes
Mm,
it gets weird.
okay. That does make sense now that I think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the frame of reference is very important. That's why people
Yeah.
love some OCs, original characters,
Right.
because they know right off the bat that this is the character that the
Hmm.
artist made, right? Or the
Yeah.
creator made. So
Right.
they have an idea what to expect. I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
I guess when a cartoon character turns into a realistic aesthetic, it comes to us as unexpected, and we are
Yeah.
surprised and weirded out. Yeah.
It's like a little uncanny.
Yeah, uncanny.
I guess the
It's
word the kids would use these days.
mm-mm. Yeah, so what about your YouTube channel? What can we expect from your videos? Do you plan
Hmm,
to upload more videos?
that's a good question. There is one video I had kind of scripted because I did something weird on my Patreon, and I had my the people like that are subscribed to it like uh create an OC of their own, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
like I went through like a bunch of different polls and stuff where I'm like, okay, like how big do you want her breasts to be? Stuff like that. Like little votes like here and there, like about like every little thing. And they made a character, and it's not at all what I thought they would make. So I kind of wanted to make a video about that
Wow.
because that seems really interesting to me. The idea of like crowdsourced, like is it writing? I don't know if it's writing because they came up with this character that is going to be in Erotic Justice 2, and I have to deal with that now. I have to find a place to put them.
Man, that must be really challenging.
It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty wacky. I'd be kind of interested to see more people do something like that, actually. So, hmm. Yeah, I might actually keep doing that in the future because it was fun. Although, well, I say that now, but I haven't put her in the game yet, so I may regret saying like this is cool. Like, but whenever I'm putting her in, I may not think it's cool anymore.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's good on paper, and then when you put it on practice, it's really bad
It gets a lot,
idea.
yeah, it gets a lot rougher.
Yeah.
So I might regret it, but at the moment, I think it's pretty neat, and I'm gonna try to make a video about that and see how people like it, and hopefully they're interested.
Well, your videos are pretty fun actually. I really
Oh,
like
thank.
those videos where you review a game and you goof around, and yeah, that those are really entertaining, at least for
Oh,
me.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, I was looking forward for you to upload more of those.
I really should. I guess that's the problem is I haven't been playing as many games that I kind of would want to make a review of, and then also I got busy making my own, so that was like its own thing. Um, yeah, because the last one I made was the Dead Estate video, which I may have to make another one because they're updating that game. So,
Yeah, and
oh well,
yeah, reviewing is pretty exhausting as well. Now that I
it can
think
get a
about
little
it.
intense too.
Yeah, because you have to digest all the content before you can review it, right?
Yeah, and then go in and actually like
I mean,
figure out
there's
what you're
channels
gonna
like
say.
that, right? Like Angry Joe Show. You know that?
Oh yeah, there's like Angry Joe. There's like Seth. Although I don't think Angry Joe would review any games that we make. Because I don't think he would.
No. We need some guy like that. The the Angry Joe for not safe for work games.
Mm.
I,
Yeah, I don't think he.
yeah, I think we need someone like that. The Angry Joe for not safe for work games.
Oh, that would be good. But the problem is like you don't want to get because if you can't show too much on YouTube, otherwise they get mad. So you got to be like you got to be careful with censoring everything, and that's a pain.
Yeah, I think if I was not an artist myself, that's what
That's where
I
you'd
will
go.
do. Yeah, because there's no market for that yet. Nobody is doing it yet. It's a new niche.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, well, honestly, if anything, I think
Well,
the
actually,
platform is the problem.
yeah, you actually came close to it. You were actually like that. I don't know if you can
I think so.
focus on it. I don't believe you
Uh,
can.
I don't know if I could, because YouTube reviews are hard to get views on unless I actually don't know how other people do it. Because it seems like the vids of mine that popped off are like weird meme videos. They're not really like, they're not reviews. They're just like me, like talking about weird stuff.
Well,
Because like I
it's
made one
sort of a
of,
review for me. That's my impression.
sorry, what was that?
It sounded like a review for me. That's
Well,
how it.
some of them.
That's my impression actually.
Well, I meant the vids of mine that did the best were all weird, like meme videos. They're not really reviews. Like the Azure Lane videos did pretty well.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh
Like
yeah.
like those.
I guess it also depends on the game because if you review a popular game, yeah, you will probably
Yeah,
get some traction with that.
yeah. Versus like not safe for work stuff tends to it's harder to make videos about it, so less people make videos about it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to artists as well. Like when you are making original stuff, people don't really give attention to it. But if you make a character that is already established, like Tifa Lockhart, Morrigan, if you draw
Oh
those
yeah.
things, you get a lot of attention.
Yeah, fan art tends to get a lot more traction than original character stuff, which it's kind of a shame in some cases. Is it yeah, but I guess it makes sense because people who wanna, people know Tifa, they know she's hot, so they're gonna want to see images of her, and they're gonna be looking for images of her too. But like, I don't know. I guess on the other side, it means that you're less likely to find original stuff because people aren't as incentivized to make it, which is kind of a shame, at least in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. So, what about games? What games do you play lately?
Lately, I actually know a guy who I got that got me into FF14, which is an MMO.
Oh,
I don't know if you ever played that one,
no,
but
not
yeah,
yet.
it's pretty good, I'd say. It's like because I used to be like really hard into like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. It's like this is good. Like FF14, I mean, is good. I haven't played WoW Modern in a long time, so I did play Classic for a while.
Mm-mm.
And now they're kind of tempting me to look at Classic again because they mentioned it was, what are they doing? The season of Discovery where they're gonna like remix a bunch of stuff in Classic. That sounds interesting. But it's like, do I really want to go back to that, I have all this other stuff I should be doing, but it's like, like I'm being tempted to go back and just play WoW a bunch.
Yeah, I mean,
So
if you're already hooked with a new game,
yeah, it
unless
seems a little
something shitty happened to that new game, then you wouldn't even touch the old game.
right. Yeah, like I don't know.
Because I remember I played two MMOs as well. My first MMO was Kal Online. It's like a ancient Korean game. Actually, it's the first 3D game ever.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I believe so. They
Damn.
they made it on the 90s.
Holy shit. Okay, that is wild.
It's
I didn't
very
know that.
old. It's somewhere around when they released Ragnarok, the 2D MMO. I think
Damn.
they
Yeah,
were
that does go way back.
that old, somewhere around those years. So
Jesus.
I played those Cal Online, and then
Mhm.
I played Scarlet Blade. So bad things happened on Cal Online, so I quit that game and I moved to
Ah,
Scarlet Blade because there were titties and boobs, butts, and you can even strip naked your character. It's pretty
oh really?
wild. And they got mechs, mechanical robots. You can
Oh yeah, yeah.
transform into a robot, and yeah, it was very engaging and very fun to play, and you get to a lot of PvP most of the time, and yeah, I was really hooked to that game, and then suddenly the the company that is hosting Scarlet Blade decided to modify the characters, like change their abilities, their like for example, one skill has a stun, and then
Uh-huh.
they removed it, and people got really mad about it. And yeah,
Right.
I mean, they changed a lot for all the characters across the board, and
Hmm.
people got really pissed, and that thing happened, and we all left. Now the game is dead.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Well, why'd they change so much? Did they just they just felt like it, I guess?
yeah, they just felt like it. Nobody asked for it. They just they
It's like,
just
oh, let's just
gave
change
in
this.
to some players which are complaining about
Mm,
imbalances and stuff. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that some players are like um they're like crybabies
yeah,
actually.
yeah. There's just
So they gave in to crybabies and people got mad about it. So we all left. Now the game is dead.
is it gone forever? Like it's not even online.
Now, right now, I don't know. I think it's still operating. Maybe 3 or 4 players are there. You know, it used to
I
be
guess it
that.
was the people that complained.
So we have this AK event every Saturday night, I believe. There's
Hmm.
like uh 500 people in each team, so that's like 1,000 people trying to kill each other. It's like full
Uh,
full on war.
yeah, yeah.
And then
Like entire servers going
yeah,
against each other.
the entire server, like there's some objectives like you pick up a key to win the game. So it
Hmm.
lasted for an hour and it was really memorable even now. I really miss that game.
Yeah.
And
It's a
then yeah,
shame they fucked it up.
yeah. So yeah, I we all quit and then I went back to Cal Online. It's- yeah, I believe that's what's gonna happen to you if something bad happens to
Mm,
FF14. That's when
I
you
don't.
will come back to WoW Classic
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because you couldn't
Uh,
play both, right?
no, no, I doubt it. I can't imagine playing more than one MMO at once. That's insane.
It's like you are settled for life. You have nothing to do. I guess you can do that. Like if you won the lottery and
Yeah,
you didn't waste all your money. You just play games all day. You
yeah.
didn't.
I just sit at home.
Yeah, just sit at home, man. You're set for life, man. That will
I
be
don't
the
gotta do
dream
nothing.
there.
Like that's it. I don't gotta go to work. I don't gotta do nothing.
Yeah, I don't have a girlfriend. Fuck girlfriend. I'll keep my money.
It's like I don't need to pay alimony. I'm just gonna play this. Fuck it.
Yeah, so anyway, uh how did you get started with making games? Did you really wanted to be a game developer or it something happened?
Um, back then, I think I started. I want to say. Oh wait, no. It would be back on like Vortex's website. Like what did he call it? Like Spiral Vortex Plays like .com. Like way back.
Mm-mm.
Because I remember he was doing like this is when I started like writing like as a hobby, and he made some like post about uh he wanted like ideas for some like scenes for like his original Aria game, the one you worked on.
Mm-mm.
Like he wanted ideas for dialogue stuff for that. And because I was starting writing, I was like, "Oh, I can do that." So, I made like some sample writing for stuff like that, you know. And I made a bunch. I made like 6 or 7 or something, and I post them in there. And he's like, you know, he gave like good criticism. He's like, yeah, some of these not so good, but then he's like, these two are pretty good. I could use those. I'm like, all right. And I was just doing it to see if I could, because I didn't know if I could write well enough to like impress somebody before. You know, it was all like hobby stuff before I did anything like that. So like I made some more and some more, and then eventually I think the first like game I made was actually in, because Vortex eventually made like a build your own scenario like tool for like Aria, like where you could actually like make your own levels and stuff. And I made a few with that. And I think that would be like the first time I did something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I eventually he like later on would like hire me to write some for some of his games. And then like I wanted to do my own stuff too. So I got into Tyranno Builder and VN Maker, which are like it seems like every project I work on uses something different. Because the Fuda Vacation game was in VN Maker, which I technically made before Erotic Justice, but I can't sell it on Steam, and it's not that popular, so it's like, call this one my first one, you know, instead. But I kind of lost track. Did that answer? Am I answering the question? It was about how I got started, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm still on track. But yeah, I'd say that's where I got started. Was like Vortex's forum, and I don't even know how the hell I got there, because I think, yeah, actually, I think I got there because, was it from Vandred Love Quest or something? It was from some Flash game on like Newgrounds, and then eventually I found his site,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there I actually got to know him, and now like, you know, now he's helping me get onto Steam, and like, you know, I write for him occasionally and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
it's a very long
it's a
friendship.
long journey. I still haven't met him in person though, even though I'm pretty sure we're in the same town. But
How big is the town?
I mean, it's big. It's big. Did he say where he lives? I don't want to dox him on accident.
No,
So.
not yet.
Okay. Well, it's a big town. We have a saying here where it's for example, I'll say Springfield is the name of the town. It's not the name of the town, but let's just say it is. You know, like, you know, here we say that Springfield is about an hour away from Springfield. Because if you want to get somewhere, you're gonna have to drive for a while. Because it's a big town.
Oh, so
Like, yeah.
it's almost like a county.
It's almost like what? A county?
Yeah.
Technically, yes, actually. Technically it covers several counties. It's like, I think if you want to get technical, there's like 2 or 3 counties. Some of them
Oh,
are
okay.
completely consumed by it, and others are like mostly consumed by it.
Mm-mm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's a big town. So even though we live in the same town, he may not be close to me. He might actually be very far away from me.
Yeah. It's a long drive, I guess.
Yeah, it's a long drive no matter what. Like, well, maybe, I don't know. For all I know, he's like 2 doors down, and I'm just not aware.
Yeah. Probably.
But I don't know.
Probably if there's a big occasion where any of you would invite each other, like marriage or a birthday party, something like that, maybe that could happen.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. If it'd be a weird way to meet, I guess, if he was having like a wedding or something. He's like, Wilson, I want you to show up. Like, all right. No one's gonna know who I am. Not even you. You've never seen me.
Wow. It's like, where's my groom? And then you don't know what your groom looks like.
Yeah, I don't know what he looks like.
It's like it doesn't anyone else to call, so he called you
I
to
yeah, I
come to
don't know.
his wedding. That would be weird.
That I wouldn't know what to do. I mean, I guess I'd show up if he asked. If he's like, "Hey, you want to come to my wedding?" I'd be like, Sure, I guess. I've never seen you, and you haven't seen me, but like, yeah, like we're tight. Okay, I'll show up."
Yeah. So it was fun.
Yeah,
Actually,
absolutely.
I ran out of yeah.
Okay.
So it's been running for almost 3 hours now, I believe.
Oh wow, we have been going on for a minute.
I don't know.
I mean, it's been great talking to you though.
Yeah,
Time,
me
but
too.
time's flying.
And yeah, it's almost 3 hours. Just look at the
Damn.
time.
You have to make sure you save that file. You don't want to find out you ran out of space recording.
Yeah. So,
I
do,
know I used to have that problem.
do you want to leave anything else? Like, promote your stuff? Where can they find you?
Uh, yeah. You could, I guess, if you guys at home want to check out my game, it's Erotic Justice on Steam. Uh, yeah, it's just Erotic Justice. It's murder mystery with a lot of pornography in it. It's got like 80 sex scenes, so I didn't want to cheap you out, so I made sure to put a lot of stuff on there. Also, my name is Wilson the Green almost everywhere. I try to keep that consistent. So if you see me on Twitter or YouTube, that's also me. I have a Patreon called Blue Smut Studios, who maybe I should change the name of that, but I kind of like it, so eh, I'll keep it for now. But yeah, I think that's everything. Do you want to say anything else there to lead us out, Daxky?
Yeah, check out his stuff. I highly recommend it. I even played it myself.
Yeah,
I even bought it on my
yeah,
Steam.
he left a review for it and everything. Thank you.
Yeah.
Those are
And
really good.
yeah, so before you go, there's a little tradition like usual. I don't know if you're aware. Uh, the previous guest will leave a question for the next guest, and you happen to be the next guest. Are you ready?
Uh, I'm not sure. Am I?
Yeah, so the question is, if you have no other choice and you have to eat an insect, which insect would you are you willing to eat?
Can I prepare it, or do I have to eat it raw?
It depends to you. It's really up to you. He didn't say what you can do before you eat it.
Oh, there's
I guess you can cook it if you want.
okay. I mean, because like if you can cook it, there's um because I've heard of like fried grasshoppers and stuff like that, and apparently those are like okay. Or well, actually, does seafood count as like an insect? Because they have like
No, there's
joints and
seafood.
stuff like bugs.
There's seafood, man. Insects are
But
insects.
they're like but like crabs and stuff. You know, they kind of look like bugs. You know, they got like joints and exoskeletons stuff.
There are
Yeah.
different
Well, I
kind
guess
of.
you're right. There are
Yeah.
different species. So I mean, I guess if you yeah, I'd probably go with something like a grasshopper if I could cook it, especially
Yeah,
because
actually, grasshopper is a dish here in our country, in Philippines.
oh yeah.
Yeah, we deep fry it and then we put vinegar and salt and pepper and it's really good.
So I chose right.
Yeah, I mean, in if you go to Asia, most of the insects, all of them are eaten, except the AQ ones like the flies, the
Well, yeah,
mosquito. You couldn't eat it,
no,
but
you couldn't eat
most
those.
of
Those are,
the creepy crawlies that you see in the forest are eaten here.
hmm. I
Yep.
guess. Well, actually, no. That does make sense, especially if like historically, because you got to get protein from somewhere. So if there's not like an abundance of like cows and stuff, it would make sense that you like figure out how to make this other stuff taste good, you know?
Yes, some of the people in Asia, the tribes, they eat it raw.
Oh,
Yep,
that's
pretty.
nasty.
It's very brave, actually. I don't know.
Well, especially if it's like a spider or something, 'cause that stuff's those can be poisonous, and you don't want to
Yeah,
you don't want to do that.
it's those stuff for fear factor.
Yeah, it is a fear factor thing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So yeah, it's your turn now to ask the question for the next guest.
Okay, so I need to come up with a question for them. Let me see. Hmm. Ooh. Hmm. Could it be? Can it be any question? I guess,
Yeah,
or does that have to be themed? Okay.
it's up to you, man.
Hmm. Because you didn't tell me who the next guest is either, so I'm trying to think of like,
Yeah, I don't know the next guest actually. It depends on who's available, so I'm not really sure who's next. I have some idea, but I don't know if they set like sometimes they would set a date and then something
hmm.
happened and they couldn't come in, so I have to skip, find a new guest.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah.
Those
Sometimes it's
Yeah, those things happen a lot, so I'm not really fixed on one guess who's next. I don't know.
okay. Okay. How about this? For a question, if you could go back and change one decision you made in your life, what would it be and why? I guess
Wow.
is what I would say. It
So,
could be small or it could be big. So I try to leave it open ended.
yep. Wow.
So I hope that's a good question.
Yeah, that's a very interesting question for sure. Yeah, so that would be it for this episode, and thank you guys for checking us out.
Oh, and thank you for having me, Daxby.
Yeah, I
It's
really
always a great
appreciate
time.
your time, man. It the time really passed by really fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's it.
Right.
Bye for now.
Have a good one, peeps.